I think I appreciate that more, though, because that's like, what's the goal, you know? I'd rather personally go to a run club where I'm like, okay, time to get better at something instead of just community.
Seeing the shared mindset of, hey, we're going to show up and we're going to push hard and I'm going to push you and I need you to push me to get through this workout.
Yeah.
So we're not just a run club, we're training.
All right, so welcome back to another episode of The Premium Perspective. I'm your host, Serena, and today I have with me Austin-based coach, athlete, co-founder of Good Pain Athletics, Bravo Petro Homes, and also you've done marathons, ultras, Ironmans. You're going to do Nick Bear's Survive the Night overnight ultra. That's
Absolutely.
amazing. Yeah, so Griffin Wooden.
Hi there.
Yeah, thank you for coming.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. So I just wanted to get started and kind of just know about your background, like how you got here. But first, I guess, you did your first Ironman when you were 16, right?
17.
17? Okay. How was that? Like, what got you into wanting to do an Ironman at that age?
Yeah, it's definitely not kind of the typical path through endurance sports, you know. Most people kind of get into it a bit later in life. And it's been cool to see endurance sports, like, I think especially since COVID, like running has been exploding. And now it's kind of like a cool thing to do. Well, when I was in high school, it was not the cool thing to be doing. But I'd injured myself my junior year of high school playing high school football. And I was in my back and my doctor said, no more contact sports. Mm-hmm. And so I was trying to think of what's kind of like the most badass non-contact sport I can think of. And right where I lived in the Woodlands, Texas at the time, I lived there for high school. They have Ironman Texas every year. And I had seen those guys, like, it's just, they're out there all day. Like, if you're up in the morning, the guys are swimming. And then, like, you go back home, you go back out, and they're still, like, biking. And then at night, they're running. And I was just like, man, those guys are built different. Yeah. I wonder like what it would take to really do one. And so I signed up and trained. At the time, it was like 11 months that I had to train for my first Ironman. Never having run a marathon. I hadn't run a 5K, you know?
Really?
And I wasn't a swimmer. I didn't own a bike when I signed up, but, you know, it excited me and it was like something I wanted to do. So I put my mind to it and got it done.
Wow. Do you think 11 months is like a good enough time to train? Or would you like, what would you say to like someone that in the same situation and wants to?
Yeah, totally. I think 11 months is around a year.
Yeah.
Kind of from like no endurance experience to full Ironman. Depending on where you're starting, like if you're a relatively fit person, maintain some sort of like in shapeness, a former athlete, that kind of thing, you can probably get away with even less.
Yeah.
Especially if you hire me as a coach. But generally, the slower you build into these things, the less problems you'll have. You know, if you rush it and pick up your volume too quick, you're liable to get injured.
Yeah.
Especially running tends to be hard on the body.
What did all your friends think when you were like in high school? Like, did you tell them you're like, I'm going to do an Ironman? Like,
they thought I was crazy, and it was funny to see like my friends' reactions. Like, some of them were like so supportive from day one, like, oh, you got this, like you're gonna train, you're gonna crush it. Yeah. And some of them were like, man, that's impossible. I don't know why you think you're doing this. Yeah. Like, and yeah, I did it.
Yeah. Do you see like other kids out there like at that age when you were competing? Or were you like the youngest at that time?
No, I was definitely, the year that I did it, I was the youngest competitor. You have to be 18 to do them. And I think my birthday was like 3 weeks before the race.
Oh, and there was like no issue with that? Like they were just like, oh, well.
Yeah, well, actually, when I was signing up, I had to reach out to the Ironman people because you had to be 18 even just to sign up. But when I was signing up, I wasn't 18 yet.
Yeah.
And so I had to get my mom to like sign something, but we made it happen.
Nice. What was your experience like training for that?
Because
you said you didn't have a bike or swim, so like how did you?
I just kind of started with what I had. My brother had a mountain bike and it was a little too big for me. And I started riding on that. I swam with my school swim team and I ran with the cross country guys. They were way faster than me at the time, but it was kind of good to like get surrounded with like the high school teams and just kind of learn as much as I can.
Yeah.
It was really awesome. The coaches of both like the cross country and swim team were like super supportive of like, I know you're not racing with us or whatever, but you're trying to do an Ironman. like, that's dope.
No,
We're
that's
all
so
for it.
cool. Yeah.
So they give me like running plans and stuff, and I kind of like pieced them together between what the coaches were saying. And I really just went online and went to triathlete.com, downloaded the first PDF Ironman training plan they had, and just kind of went after it. Yeah, just followed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was interesting doing it as a high schooler. Like on race day, it was pretty humbling to see, like, in Ironman, they write your age on the back of your calf. And it was very humbling to see like 50-year-olds, 60-year-olds passing me. But it was actually funny. On race day, Ironman day, that was the first time I even ran a full marathon, which is the length of the run portion of the Ironman. And so a lot of people were like, oh, you never did a half Ironman in training. You never did a marathon in training. I was like, no. And I'm big on kind of chasing what's exciting to you. And to me, the idea of an Ironman excited me. You know, a marathon, didn't do it for me.
Yeah.
A shorter triathlon, half Ironman, didn't do it for me. Why am I going to do that if like the goal is full Ironman?
That's crazy. A half marathon excites me. I don't know that I could do an Ironman, but yeah, I went to, Natasha what's her last name?
Yeah.
Yeah. She has the NVDM coaching. I went to that like 2 months ago and I started going on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
And that's hard. Like I was like the
She's a great
slowest one
coach.
there.
Yeah.
She's so good though. But just doing that, I was like, this is really cool. I'm like getting my butt kicked, but I like it. So I was like, I'm going to keep going. So yeah.
No, she's awesome. She's one of the best coaches in the game for sure.
Yeah, for sure. So I wanted to talk about just what led, like after you completed that one, how did you were just like, I want to keep doing this, or like what opened that door?
Yeah, so that was actually like a decade ago now of when I kind of started training for that first Ironman. And I've done all kinds of endurance stuff since then. I've done another full Ironman, I think 6 or 7 half Ironmans. I don't know, more half marathons than I can count. Oh, well over a dozen marathons.
Wow.
Over a dozen ultramarathons, and even up to like a 100-mile run.
Okay, yeah, I saw that on your Instagram. How does that even work to do 100 miles? Like,
I mean, you just got to keep going. You know,
like
just
you
don't
literally,
stop.
it's nonstop. How long did that last?
It took me 24 hours and 40 minutes.
Really?
I was like top 20 in the race.
Wow.
So that's a pretty good time. I think the cutoff was 36 hours.
So what was your time like for your very first one compared to now?
My very first marathon was in that Ironman. And so given it wasn't like a fresh marathon, but it took me 5 hours and 45 minutes to do my first marathon.
Really? That's still not horrible.
Yeah, just last year, I did the New York City Marathon in 3 hours and 6 minutes.
Wow.
So I've shaved almost 3 hours off my marathon time. But my first standalone marathon, I did at 4 hours flat, like 3:59, something. I was really like just under sub 4.
What is that? That's like...
It's like a 9-minute mile. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, that's amazing. So now you're coaching people. So was there just a point that you hit where you were like, I want to help people do this now instead of it just me?
I mean, it's kind of been like for years, I've been the endurance guy amongst like my friends. And it really started just with that, friends asking me like, hey, I'd want to do a half marathon. I'd want to get a better 5K time. I'd want to try and go sub 5 in the mile, do a marathon, whatever it is. And I just started giving them, plans that I had done before. But I would say within the last 4 years, I've really been coaching. I mean, kind of once it became friends of friends, I was like, I don't know you, I'm charging you.
Yeah.
So I've really been coaching. I think I have over 80 athletes that I've coached, set PRs and hit their, first time marathon.
How do you balance that many? Like, is that with the point that
well, that's kind of 80 over
time.
4 years. So
okay.
Typically I won't have more than like 15 to 20 at a time, just so I can actually like give some attention towards all of them.
Yeah. It's in person, right? Like, do you ever do virtual or?
Actually, I do mainly virtual.
Oh, okay.
So I have an app where I upload their training plans. I see the results, see how they're doing, if they're missing workouts, if they're hitting workouts, if they're getting their strength training in. And I used to do a tiered package where it's like, oh, we only talk once a month, we talk twice a month, or we talk as much as you want. And now I have one price where if you're my athlete, I'm all in on you. And I found I like to train that way much more than like... we only have one call a month, but like if they have a problem, like am I as their coach not going to answer that?
Yeah.
So I found like ultimately, like even when I was doing the tiers, it's just unlimited. So I was like, why don't I just start
help
doing
with
that.
everybody. Yeah. Makes sense.
So yeah, I definitely, it's a little hard to balance it, but it's cool to help people strive for and achieve their goals, because I know that feeling of training for something and be like, oh my God, am I ready? Like, I'm so nervous for this thing. I remember the morning of my first Ironman, I was sitting in transition, getting all my stuff ready, putting my goggles on, getting ready to go swim. And I don't think ever in my life have I ever been that nervous. I literally had locked jaw where I couldn't open my mouth.
Yeah.
And the second I got in the water, because I was worried, I was like, how am I going to swim like this? It's like, I'm not going to be able to breathe. But the second I got in the water, my body was like, okay, this is what we're doing. And we figured it out.
Yeah, that's crazy. I can only imagine. I was like nervous when I did a 10K.
Yeah. And like people hit those different nerves at like different things. So.
Yeah. I was like, I need to go to the bathroom right before.
I'm just as excited for my athletes that are chasing like a crazy fast Ironman or marathon goal as I am like the first timer. Like, if anything, maybe I'm more excited to help the first timer than someone like, oh, I'm trying to shave 6 minutes off my Ironman time. You know?
Yeah. Do you have like quite a few of like beginners that are just like, I've never done anything before, like I want your help?
Yeah, totally. I would say probably the majority of my athletes are more on the beginner side. I would say the majority of my athletes are beginners, or, hey, I just started doing these races and now I want to start to get a little more serious and put up a good time. Mm-hmm. Personally, I like, even in my own training, it's not till recently within the last 2 years where I'm really trying to get fast and trying to think about shaving off like 6, 7, 8, 9 minutes off my times. Mm-hmm. I typically, like in, I don't know, the first 6, 7 years of my endurance career, it was more like, what's a race that scares the shit out of me and like I think might be impossible, and like, let's go see if we can do it. And that's what was exciting to me. But now, and especially I have our track club, I've been enjoying getting faster at these kinds of things.
Yeah. So I wanted to get into that. When did you get that started?
Man, I started that almost right away after I moved here. I think I've been in Austin 18 months and we've been doing Good Pain for 16 months. So
18 months ago, that was what, like last year in
February?
Okay.
Maybe 19, I don't know, 18, 19 months. But last year in February. And I kind of started Good Pain right away. I was training for the New York City Marathon, and I had just done this race called the Speed Project. And I saw it's a ultramarathon relay race. Mm-hmm. So there's 6 people and you're running from Los Angeles to Las Vegas. It's like 300 miles. And there's like 6 people on your team. And I remember in the last 20 miles, there were these 2 guys on my team, and they're fast. They train on the track. Mm-hmm. They're like sub 3 marathoners. And the way they ran in the last 20 miles of the race, we were getting caught by another team kind of in the last, I don't know, final stretch. Mm-hmm. And we were like, hey, we got to drop the hammer and run fast. And these guys were running like 530 miles after running 40 plus miles, like overnight, not sleeping. And when I saw that, I was like, oh, wow, there's a whole nother gear to this running thing.
Yeah.
And so I had gotten into the New York City Marathon. Mm-hmm. And when I came back, my original plan for the New York City Marathon, after having just moved out of New York, I was like, hey, I'm just going to go back to the city. I'll fun run it. It'll be like a victory lap. Like, I'll just enjoy myself on the day. I won't like try and crush it. Mm-hmm. I was like, nah, screw that. Like, we're going balls to the wall. Like, we're going all in, trying to squeeze every minute we can out of it. And so I started Good Pain because that was the first time I was really properly in earnest hitting structured progressive track workouts. And I was nervous to do them. So it really just started with a few texts, a few friends, hey, come to the track. This is the workout I'm doing. And then I started posting it on my like Instagram story. And I think for the first like 6 months, we probably never had more than like 15 people come out. Yeah. Maybe 20, 25, maybe. But really, I would say like within the last 3-4 months of doing it,
it's like blown up, right?
It's blown up. I think our average attendance probably over the last 8 weeks is probably around 150 people at 6:30 a.m. on a Tuesday to do a hard track workout.
I saw the workouts. They look intense.
Yeah, like our fastest group typically runs like mile repeats in the 5s.
Wow. So y'all have like groups set up?
Yeah, definitely. As we've grown, we've kind of had to. And so we usually have 4 pace groups. The first one is very fast. I don't even run most workouts with the first pace group.
Yeah.
They're all like sub 3, probably sub 250 marathoners.
Wow.
And then the second group is kind of like the sub 3, like 310. And then
Is that
we
your
have
group?
yeah, typically I lead that group. I've recently been trying to do the first half of the workouts with group 1, and then I'm like, all right, I'll go back to group 2.
Yeah.
But we also have group 3 and 4. They hold it down to group 4 is our biggest group. That's where we have the most people. So it's cool for me to see people that aren't accustomed to hitting the track coming and doing speed workouts. I think no matter what kind of runner you are, doing a speed workout will help you become a better runner. And my favorite thing about Good Pain is just seeing the shared mindset of, hey, we're going to show up and we're going to push hard, and I'm going to push you, and I need you to push me to get through this workout.
Yeah.
So we're not just a run club, we're training to get better, to get faster, to become better runners, more fit. And there's tons of run clubs in Austin.
In Austin right now, heck yeah.
And
so many.
I love them, and there's tons of social run clubs where like the main goal is to like hang out with people, run
Like
2, 3, 4, maybe 5 easy miles. Respectfully, that's just not that's just not us. That's not Good Pain.
I think I appreciate that more though, because that's like, what's the goal, you know? Like, I'd rather personally go to a run club where I'm like, okay, time to get better at something instead of just community.
Well, see you on Tuesday.
I guess. If that's a personal invite, then sure.
Absolutely. We've got a group for you.
Yeah, I'll be at the slowest one.
That's all right. That's all right.
Well, how did you like come up with the name though?
So actually one of the guys I did the speed project with, Isaiah Stofferon, he was one of the guys that kind of inspired me to rip New York City Marathon instead of just fun run it, and to start hitting the track. He started a run club, and it was just Saturday runs, and he started it and he called it Good Pain Athletics, and he was coming to all my Tuesday runs. And so he was like, yo, let's just join forces. We'll do the Tuesday speed day and then the Saturday long run. We were like, perfect.
Got it. So y'all two are like collaborated in it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
So that's how it started. And it's been, I don't know, a lot of fun since. It's honestly, 6:30 in the morning on a Tuesday has become the highlight of my week.
Yeah. Like you just look forward to it every week.
Absolutely. More than a Friday or Saturday night for sure.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. How do you like manage? Because you're the one that's doing like the social media and stuff like that. And so do you have like a videographer, like a personal one that like goes and films
We've
you?
been blessed with lots of great, talented media personnel for sure. We've got kind of a rotating crew of photographers that come by. There are definitely a few that really hold it down for us. Shout out to Noah. Shout out to Connor. They really hold it down for us. But yeah, and I do think that's one of the reasons why Good Pain has grown. I noticed like when I did start posting, I think, you know, especially if it is a good photographer, like I've committed to, no matter what, every week I'm going to have at least like some photos to post. And so I've got my own camera, and I'm nowhere as good as some of these photographers that come out, but I can make it happen. But I've noticed like people are just, especially if it is a good photo, people are just willing to share the photos from the workouts in the morning. And I think people just sharing it like on their story or like posting the photos, their friends are like, hey, what workout is that? Like, what are you doing on Tuesday morning? And like,
well, that's how I've seen like a lot of it, because you guys have people that are just filming themselves workout, and then I'm like, okay.
Yeah, totally. And then we've definitely got a fair amount of like influencers that come and like film. They're like, yo, follow me on my like Tuesday morning workout. And so, it's kind of like in Austin, my buddy said, it's become your favorite runner's favorite run club.
That's a good way to put it.
So yeah, it's an awesome crew out there. I think like everyone brings the energy, and it's crucial to have those guys that really like to push. We've got 2 people, Mason and George, that I always say like no one finds the limit more often than those 2 guys. I would say probably like more than half the time one of them is on the side of the track like puking in one of our workouts.
Oh my gosh.
And like, you need those people to keep the intensity up. Like if they're always pushing. And so it like inspires other people to be like, oh, hey, there's like a whole nother gear that like that I have in me that I'm just not tapping into. And when you see guys like Mason and George on the side of the track, they're like some of our fittest guys. Like, it's not like they're unfit, but like they're just willing to push that much harder than some other people are in pursuit of their fitness and their goals.
Yeah, that's crazy. So you were talking about how you moved to Austin and you started that. So before Austin, where were you? Because you started out in the Woodlands. That's where you grew up.
No, I'm kind of from all over. I was born in Jersey and then I moved to Nashville. I spent, I would say, a lot of my childhood outside of Boston, Massachusetts. So I am a Pats fan, but even now that we lost Tom Brady, I'm still a Pats fan now that we suck. So I'm not just a bandwagon.
Yeah, you're not
And then I went to high school in the Woodlands, just north of Houston. So
your family was just like moving a lot, or?
yeah, just whatever Pops was doing. And that's where we were. But yeah, then after high school, I went to NYU up in New York City and I did my undergrad there for 4 years. And I was working on Wall Street for like 4.5, 5 years after that. And I was like,
how do you even get into that? Like,
I studied finance and comp sci and math at NYU. And that's kind of like the fast track to work on Wall Street.
Yeah.
How
was that experience?
First, living in New York was awesome. Like, especially as a college student, it's like the best playground. You know, you have like, what, 2-3 classes a day, but other than that, like, New York City is your oyster. Well, it's definitely not, I don't know, like the typical college experience where we're tailgating for football games. Like, we didn't even have a football team.
Yeah.
I think we had almost a negative school spirit, but
nothing like over here.
Yeah, nothing. Like, I'm a UT bandwagon now that I'm here. I have no ties to the NYU athletics department. But yeah, New York was the best. Like, I think it was awesome because NYU is really like in the city. Like, there's no campus, there's no fence or walls, or like you're just in and of the city and like you're surrounded by it all the time, and it kind of forces you to like keep up. Like, if you're doing idiotic college stuff, like there are New Yorkers there that won't stand for that and they will call you out on it.
Really?
Yeah, totally. I remember the first day of class, and this is profane, so we might have to cut it, but okay. I remember my first day of class at NYU. I was walking to my 8 a.m. calc class. It was like 7:40 in the morning. All these like NYU freshmen walking around the streets, like crossing when they're not supposed to, don't know where they're going. And there's this guy in a full suit on a city bike, and he yells not at anyone, but just at everyone. He goes, "Get out of the way, you fucking dildos." And I was like,
wow,
7:40 in the morning. Like, who wakes up like this? Like, I think I love New York.
Everyone's just so like fast paced there, right? That's what I
Yeah. And like, if you're in the way, like, yo, watch out. Yeah. And yeah, it's, and I don't know. I'm a smiley guy. I like to smile. And like, I remember in New York is not like that. I had to learn to kind of have like a don't with me face, like when I'm walking around, you know, like I remember once I was like on the train and I was just like being a happy guy, smiling, and some guy goes, "Hey, yo, what are you looking at, Smiley?"
Oh my
gosh. I was like, nothing. Like, I'm getting off at the next
sorry,
stop.
I can't be happy.
Yeah. But then, so I don't know, New York, awesome. NYU, not the typical college experience.
Yeah.
New York as a finance professional on Wall Street, stressful.
Yeah, I can imagine. Like the movies.
People are competitive, can be a little cutthroat. You work a lot of hours. I think my first year when I was like an analyst before my like year-end performance review, I like had to pull all my hours, and I think on the average I was working like 76 hours a week that I was billing to a client.
That's so crazy.
So it's like almost 2 full-time jobs.
It's like literally the city that never sleeps, right? Is that no? That's Vegas that they say.
No, that's New York.
That's New York.
Yeah. So yeah, I had been in New York for 8 years, and I was kind of felt like I was like doing the same thing every weekend, like just wasting money at expensive restaurants and expensive drinks. And if you kind of fall out of love with living in the city, it quickly becomes like an inconvenient and very expensive place to live if you don't, like, all caps LOVE, love it.
Yeah.
It had kind of just gotten to the point where like I felt like, yo, I did my like early 20s here. I had a great time. I worked on Wall Street. Like, I did New York.
Yeah, you had the
I can leave saying
experience.
Like I went all in on it and I'm ready for something else. And so I came to Austin.
Why'd you choose Austin?
It literally wasn't even on my radar. I was thinking like San Diego or Boulder, and I had gone and I had stayed like a month in both of those cities. And I was coming back to Houston, and I had moved out of New York, so I was staying with my parents in Houston. And one of my buddies from NYU, he lives here in Austin, and he was like, "Yo, get out of your parents' place, come visit me for the weekend." And I ended up staying like 2 weeks with him, and I was like, "Dang, I kind of like Austin more than like any of these other places I was thinking about moving."
Yeah. What's the difference like between, because I'm like born and raised here.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I'm a unicorn. And, but I love it. Like, I always tell people all the time, I'm like, I don't want to leave because it just gets better all the time.
Yeah, I agree. I like, what's the difference between Austin and New York?
Yeah.
Oh man.
I mean, I would assume that it's like a heavy
Yeah, big difference. I
difference.
mean, like the space, like I have a dog now that I'm here in Austin. Complete my new to Austin starter pack. I'm still working on the patchwork tattoos. No tats. But I got a dog, and like this morning I was up in the Walnut Creek. What is it? Walnut Creek Park, and just to have like a moment where there's this like dry riverbed off the trail, and like there's like a little bench like I was hanging out on, to have like a moment where like you don't see anyone.
Yeah.
And it's like quiet. You can hear like nature. You're surrounded by trees. Like I remember being in New York at one time and like having the vivid memory of watching one of these like wellness gurus talk about like, oh, you need to go like be barefoot and touch grass.
Yeah.
I was living on like 23rd Street. I was like, dude, I had to go all the way up to like 82nd to find grass.
Oh my gosh.
You know what I mean? And so like, just like the access to tranquil places, I would say in Austin is much higher.
That's so true. The
And
variety.
yeah. And like in New York, like it just felt like every time you leave the apartment, it cost me like $80.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like you step outside, like a for real question, like I got asked as a New Yorker is, it's winter in New York. Where can you go that doesn't cost money?
And what was your answer?
My answer was, I'm staying in my apartment. And that's another reason, like I wanted to get out of New York. Like I like to run and bike and be outside, and the winters there were brutal.
Yeah, I
And
was
like,
about to ask you that. Like, how did you?
yeah, and the snow, it's like, it's like, oh, Christmas in the city. The snow is great. The snow is beautiful in New York for like 2 hours. And then it's like dirty, and like the taxi's washed up on this,
Gross.
like, yeah, and it's quickly gross. So yeah, I wasn't big on the New York winters. Like it would be so cold sometimes. Like I'd be out running and I would have gloves on, and I would put like an oven mitt over my gloves.
Wow.
But I hate the treadmill that much, where I just prefer to be outside.
Yeah. Wait, so how were you still like training and stuff while you were in New York? Like you would just literally just go outside, or
Yeah, I mean,
was there like gyms or like community the way you have here?
So there's definitely running community. I was part of a few different like run clubs. My favorite was Orchard Street Runners. They were the ones who taught me what real speed was.
Yeah.
That run club is kind of like if you're like a former collegiate athlete and you move to New York and you still want to run fast and run hard, like those are the guys you just go with. And I like, honestly, that's that kind of like Orchard Street Runners energy is like when I moved to Austin, that's kind of what I felt was like missing in the run scene. And I think that's why, another reason why I think Good Pain has kind of exploded is there are all these run clubs that are like social and easy and like great for meeting people and community, but like some people just want to ride the lightning for a bit and like get that feeling. And so like exciting runs. And at Good Pain, we just hosted our first race. It was at 2:30 in the morning on a Saturday morning, so like kind of like Friday night.
Yeah.
And it was a checkpoint race. No one knew what the checkpoints were like before the race. Like a couple hours before the race, I sent everyone an email like, these are the checkpoints. You can go in any order you like it doesn't matter. Like, but you have to take a picture at each one. Fastest person at the finish wins.
Wow, that actually sounds so fun.
Yeah. And like, I think there's that kind of space in the running community here in Austin where like dedicated and serious about their training and aren't going to be caught in the bars or clubs at like 2:30 in the morning. But if you give them out an opportunity to like show out and race, like that's their perfect version of a Friday night. And like, that's the runner that I want to come to Good Pain.
Yeah. I was going to ask you that, like, okay, because did you ever like dip your toes into that? Because you know how like 6th Street and all those things are very heavy over here. But now I feel like it's kind of changed and it's more of like a health, like we're kind of on a health and wellness. So did you ever like catch yourself going down that path and like partying a little bit or?
In Austin?
Yeah.
I would say I did enough of it in New York, and I don't know. I feel like from my perspective, enough of it in New York. And like I thought the going out scene in New York was awesome. Like there's so many places. Like you go get a drink at one place, if it's packed, you'd be like, I'll just walk across the street to the other, you know. And
Yeah.
I think like 6th Street and maybe Rainey is kind of like that here, but like in New York, like everywhere was like that.
Yeah. Well, everybody's out at night over there, right? And like,
yeah, that too.
Makes more sense.
Like imagine in Austin if like from like the river all the way to like 35th was just like packed, people walking around everywhere all the time, you know?
Yeah.
Like that's just
And, like,
like
all
a taste
ages.
of what New York felt like. Yeah, all ages, like old people out walking their dog, like
That sounds kind of nice.
finance guys getting off work at 9-10 p.m.
Wow.
NYU students like being hooligans in the park,
Mhm.
homeless guys yelling about crazy stuff all the time.
Yeah.
So I haven't gone out too much here in Austin. I mean, look, I've been on 6th Street, I've been down Rainey, I've been to like the bar scenes here and everything. And actually, I thought it was funny when I had first moved here. I was going out with this group of people that I had kind of just met, and we go to this place, and these girls were like, "Oh my god, it's so packed in here. I feel like a sardine." And I was like, "Compared to New York, this feels like empty."
Really?
Like, yeah.
That's funny.
And so it's just like different perspectives, and like that's the kind of difference that I like. The real difference between like Austin and New York is like you just always have like more space. There's just way less people up in your grill all the time here. I put it like this: like imagine you're driving around Austin. Every time you see another car passes you. Imagine if instead you were like brushing shoulders with people on the street every time you saw a car. You know?
Yeah. Big difference. Do you see yourself staying here though? Like for a good while?
I love it here in Austin. Honestly, most of my family's down here in Texas, so I could totally see myself staying here. Yeah.
That's nice. I wanted to get into the overnight ultra that you're about to do. How did that happen? You just like sign up and get yourself in the lottery?
Yeah. So there's a lottery and you just have to be bold enough to put your name in the hat.
Yeah.
And my name got called, and I found out I was doing it while I was doing another race called Hood to Coast. It's similar to the speed project that I had mentioned earlier, where it's an ultra distance race, but it's a relay.
Yeah.
So it was like across 12 people. We were running like 200 miles. And so we only ran like 15, 16 miles each, but it was in the middle of that race. I wasn't even on like the live stream when they were doing the drawing, but I got like a bunch of texts because all my friends were. And they were like, "Oh my God, you just got into the 50 miler." I was like, "Oh my God, I'm running an ultra right now." And the week after that, I ran the Marquette Marathon, injured my hamstring. And so the start of the training block has been a bit rough, but we're back.
Yeah.
We're dialing in. We're getting ready. Oddly enough, like to me, a 50-mile race feels less intimidating than running a fast marathon would.
Yeah.
It's a distance I've covered before, you know?
Yeah,
so,
you did 100 miles. So now that I know that, I'm like, this is nothing for you.
Yeah, but no, I think the BPN race will be very exciting. Like they're getting the events down. I think this is like the third race that they've held on their ranch. And I've been at the other two. I've been lucky enough. I've had some friends get into the other races, and
So
I got to go out and like crew and help them do it and like see the course a bit and see how they host the race. So
Nice.
I'm glad my name finally got called.
It's your time to shine. What is that? November 1st, right?
Yeah, November 1st. I'm not sure what time it starts, but it starts kind of like in the evening. And I think if everything goes my way, I should have it wrapped up in like 9-10 hours.
Nice. So confident.
Hopefully less.
Yeah. I'm like, wow, it would take me a day.
I think the time cutoff is kind of generous, where if like you could run the first half, like you could really walk it out if you wanted to.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. I wanted to ask you about Bravo Petro Homes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is your affiliation with that?
So Bravo Petro Homes, I had told you about my friend in Austin that kind of like told me to come out and come see it. And he's honestly probably the biggest reason I ended up moving to Austin.
He's your friend from NYU.
Yeah.
Okay.
We went to school together, classes together, lived together for a little bit. And he's down here in Austin, and it's him and his brother that started this construction company. And I think up till now, I think they've built 12 homes in and around Austin. kind of like all over in different neighborhoods, but they're big on doing like remodel renovation work. Like you want a new kitchen, you want to turn your outdoor space to indoor space.
Yeah.
You want to redo like your backyard so it's more than just like some grass. Like they're your guys.
They do it all.
Yeah, they do it all.
Nice.
And they've got like a good team of people that like are some pretty talented builders. And both of those two, like the brothers, the owners, they like to get dirty too. So like they're very hands-on, like they're on the site with their guys, like overseeing everything and making sure like, hey, if my name's on this, like it's good to go.
Yeah.
And so I've been helping them do some construction stuff, whether it's like just kind of like tapping the running community and seeing like, hey, if someone just bought a house that I know, like, hey, would you want to redo your kitchen, put a granite, countertop on, or like do sliding glass doors instead of a swing door. And it's funny, like I think the like age demographic in like the run club community here in Austin is very like about to be first time home buyers. So it kind of works out that like I just get to help out my friends. And like my favorite thing about working with them is like I know they do such good work. Like I have no problem like going to my friends and being like, yo, if you want to do something with your house, like they're dialed, they'll take care of you. It'll be like a good product at the end of the day. So
yeah. So you're like basically like referring for them.
Yeah, that, and I do get my hands dirty from time to time when they really need some help. Like I'm okay. Look, as like a former New Yorker, like city boy, like was I the most handy guy? No. But since like working with them, I've definitely gotten a lot better at like, I don't know, if there's like a hole in drywall now, I know how to patch it, like
Gaining
small
skills.
problems, like fixing like paint. Like a lot of the work they do for some of the realtors here in town is like, hey, if someone's trying to sell their house and like they're doing like a final like blue tape walkthrough, just like come through and like patch small holes, fix little paint chips, and like get marks off the wall that like the builders had left or like whatever it is. And those kind of smaller things, I can now handle some of them. And that, and like, I don't know, whenever we do demolition work, honestly, I'm keen to help out on the demo days. They're kind of fun, like busting down walls. But the worst part about any demo day is like getting all the like old materials into the dumpster. It's like you're just like taking like the weight of a house and like throwing it in the dumpster. So yeah, it's been fun working with those guys and be going from kind of like working on Wall Street to being like self-employed, doing my like run coaching, in-person personal training, and helping my buddies do construction. Like I've enjoyed getting my hands dirty after like 5 years on the finance side of things, tapping on the keyboard.
Yeah, this is like very different.
Yeah, it was a much needed arc to counter like my useless city boy arc to like work some construction and get some hard skills.
Yeah, what do they call it? Like instead of a blue collar, now or instead of white collar, now you're blue collar. Yeah,
exactly.
So does that kind of make you want to like get into real estate? Because I feel like here in Austin, it's like a really heavy scene.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I do feel like I know like a million realtors or people in the mortgage industry, but I don't know. I was pretty good at the mergers and acquisition thing. So I might stick with that. I don't know. There is kind of like it's a similar kind of train of thought where a business is looking at acquiring another business, doing like M&A activity as like a real estate investor is looking at and the way they analyze like doing another real estate investment.
Yeah.
So it is kind of a similar skill set. So I won't say I'll never do it, but for now, happy doing with what I'm doing now.
Yeah, you're doing a lot already. Yeah. Well, that's good. I mean, you're a busy guy. So I wanted to kind of just talk to you about like how you even handle all of this. Like, what is your day-to-day like with all your like clients, with also like the run club, your personal goals, and then also that like doing the
I would say like the average day in a life, I'm taking meetings for Good Pain, talking to brands that like want to come out. And one of the good things about like Good Pain growing so much is now there's brands that are interested in like coming out and helping us with like products, and they're interested in helping us grow the run club.
Yeah.
So kind of like managing that, working on the social media for Good Pain. So, I mean, really, like with all the photographers and stuff, they make it easy on me.
Yeah.
So I'm not too worried about like getting into the editing and stuff with that. But
That's probably the hardest part, so you're lucky.
yeah, I don't doubt it. Yeah, it's good to have the talented people on your side. But
Mhm.
yeah, definitely working on Good Pain stuff. We're working on some Good Pain merch. So meeting with some like apparel guys, hat people, finding blanks is like good quality t-shirts and hoodies and whatever to like print on has been much harder than I thought.
Yeah.
Then typically like I'll do some photography work for my buddies at Bravo Petro. I help them do lots of like before and after photos and
Like, you
videos
take
and
the
that kind of
pictures?
thing. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm good enough where I can make it happen.
You have, like, a camera, like, a
Yeah,
good camera and all that?
totally,
Okay,
totally.
nice.
And then like I would say like the main portion of my time is like checking in on my coaching athletes, like seeing how workouts went, seeing how their body feels, like if they're sore, if it's time to like press the gas on training or maybe like tap the brakes a bit. So like working on and adjusting programs, talking to my athletes.
Yeah.
And then I do in-person personal training.
Yeah.
And that all on top, throw in like my training, trying to have a social life.
It's, like, a lot. And your
Yeah,
days sound very full.
definitely. And I would say it's I kind of prefer it this way, like the way my brain works, like to go from one thing to another, like the way my corporate job was, where it was like I'm attached to my laptop for like 10 plus hours a day.
Yeah.
And like I was just kind of like staring at like fix this thing or like, you know, analyze this. And like you can only like look at something on a screen for so long until like
Your mind
your eyes
becomes
bleed.
Yeah. So, it's kinda just like do you have, like, time blocks for each thing? Or is it kinda just like,
Well, I mean, it kind
whatever?
of depends. Like, I'll get hit up to come do a podcast,
Yeah.
or like, definitely, like, I have especially my in-person personal training. Like, those are on the schedule. Like, I have 2 athletes I see twice a week. I kind of don't. I try not to move those times around on them too much.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like, I get an exciting opportunity. I'm like, yo, can we meet Thursday instead? So certainly, like, those are kind of like the pillars, like that. And Tuesday mornings, I'm only at Good Pain. I plan my travel around being back in Austin Tuesday mornings to come to Good Pain.
Mhm.
I try not to miss it.
Yeah.
But luckily, like there are so many guys at the run club now that are like regulars. Like if I do miss it, like
Trust them.
I have trusted hands that can run the show.
Mhm.
But yeah, definitely like time blocking things, but also like giving yourself like the space where you have time to like do nothing. Whether I'm like walking my dog in Walnut Creek,
Mhm.
just kind of thinking about, scheming about how I can make Good Pain the best run community in Austin.
So that's, like, your number 1 priority right now, good pain?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
It's
it sounds
definitely
like
up there.
it.
Yeah, it's my favorite way to spend time. I love the running community, and like I think like since COVID and like social media,
Mhm.
people have just become more isolated, and I think to give people a place to come together, and this is kind of like the social part of Good Pain, where you know it's like 150 people that like get to meet, do a hard workout together, and while there's not too much talking going on during the reps, but like during the warm up and the cool down, and we always get coffee over at Desnudo
Mhm.
out
Like
in
afterwards?
East. Yeah, so it's good to see people like hang out, making friends, like maybe boyfriend, girlfriend from run clubs. So it's been cool for me to see like the community aspect of it grow. I think a lot of the run community leaders in town like have like a great story of like, oh, like Sam Hendel in Good Grief, like she founded the run club after like her mom's passing, and she found like good in the grief like through running and like building the community. And so there's like a lot of people that have like a really amazing story, like the Commodore Run Club. They started because they saw like a lot of like poor lifestyle choices and addiction in like the restaurant worker scene, and so they started a run club that they would do. And
Mhm.
I kind of just started Good Pain because I didn't want to do my track workouts alone.
Well, so how are you training like right now? So what's your current training plan?
Yeah. So I found out I got into the BPN 50.
Is that like your biggest, like what would you say, like your just top challenge marathon that you were doing? Like what would be your
Man,
favorite one?
running 100 miles is a biblical journey. Like, there's no two ways about it. Like, it will test you mind, soul, body, and spirit.
Yeah.
There's no way to cheat 100 miles, and there's no easy way to run 100 miles. Like, you see 100-mile races through the mountains, like at altitude, like that's hard, obviously.
Yeah.
You see 100-mile runs like on the road, like the repetitiveness of running on the road, the same gait pattern, not getting to change it. But how I'm training for the BPN 50.
Yeah.
I found out I got into it. I was running another race. 6 days later, I had another race. That race didn't go well because my first race I went too hard in, hurt myself, hurt my hammy like almost instantly after I found out I got into the race.
Yeah.
So I took a week off. You got to know when to rest your body. I took a week off, and now I think we have like 6 weeks before the race. So as a coach, the way I think about that, I want to give at least like 10 to 12 days, max like 2 weeks before the race of tapering, of kind of like resting, running easier than I have been. So make sure my legs are fresh come race day.
Is that the key? Like just resting as much as possible, not going too hard?
It depends. I would say for an ultra where it's like a 50-mile race or a 100-mile race where like your real goal is like, hey, I just need to make sure I'm as fresh as possible.
Yeah.
So I can get through this race. Versus like if I'm trying to run an all-out mile or an all-out 5K, my taper looks very different. Where like I don't want to just be sitting on the couch. Like you got to come in like primed and ready to go.
Yeah.
So you do want to hit some faster stuff to make sure your body's like primed to do that. But yeah, the way I kind of look at like the 6 weeks I have before the BPN 50, call it like the last 2 weeks to like tapering. The week before that, that's like my biggest week of training. And I have a buddy here in Austin who's running the Moab 240, and I'm going out to help pace him, and I'm going to do a 57-mile stretch of that race. And so that'll be my biggest week of running. And definitely like typically I wouldn't say you should run, especially for like a 50-mile race, more than 50 miles in one go before race day.
Yeah.
But opportunities come my way. I'm going to turn down a chance to like run some of the Moab course on some of the most beautiful parts of Moab, Utah. So I'll be running 57 miles that like second or third week of October. And so really like now my plan is to hit 50 to 60 mile weeks of running leading up to that. And then that week where I'm running at Moab will probably be like an 80 or 90 mile week. And then it's kind of about like resting, getting ready, like still hitting miles, keeping the legs turning over, but not pounding.
Gotcha. You were saying earlier when you did the 100-mile that like it just tests you like mentally, spiritually, and all those things. Are you like big in your faith, or?
I would say
We don't have to put this in there.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah, I would say in New York. Well, first of all, growing up, like I wasn't going to church. My mom didn't make me. My dad didn't make me.
Yeah.
And like my only point of contact towards like religion was my grandmother. And so bless her heart, I love her. Love you, GT. Her version of religion was like kind of the only one I knew, even through college. Because I don't know if it may surprise you, but 8 years in New York, not one person ever invited me, hey, you want to go to church with me on Sunday? Like, I just don't think that's the place where that's what the people are doing. You know, like if you're in New York, you're there to chase like financial goals, monetary goals, like a good career, acting career, whatever it is. Like you're not, chasing your faith.
Yeah.
And so I come to Austin, and I've been to church in Austin. Like at first, it kind of just started with like the guy I founded my run club with. He's like, "Yo, come to church with me." Like he's got kids. He's like, "I'm bringing my kids." Like just come. It's good community, good time, like good people.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, sure. Like I'll go. I'll just see if I can meet anyone. Like, and then there's definitely been like a few guys in my life that I'm lucky to have that are a few steps ahead of me in their faith journey that have been kind of like shepherding me and maybe prodding me at times when I'm talking about like, oh, this went wrong in my life and I feel this about it. And they're like, careful, like maybe you should think about it in this way. Like, or like at church, they said this when you're feeling this, you should think about this. And like, there's just having like those guys in my life that are a few steps ahead and like a little bit older than me also. It's been nice to have that as kind of a shoulder to lean on in kind of my own faith journey. Yeah. So yeah, to answer your question, that's kind of
Gotcha.
I would say in the last 3 months, I've been to church more than in the previous 27 years of my life.
Really? Oh, that's so interesting. Well, yeah, no, I just asked because I know a lot of athletes that are like, yeah, you need to lean on God when you're doing these really hard, challenging things. So just curious to know, like that's kind of helped you doing all these races.
We'll see in the 50 bucks.
Yeah.
If I PR it, yeah, God is on my side.
God, please bless him. That's funny. All right, I have a couple more questions for you, and then we'll get going because I know that it's already 12. You've been here for like an hour, and
Cool.
I'm on your time. So yeah. So what's next on your bucket list? Like after Survive the Night, what do you?
When I found out about Survive the Night, I had already been on like a 6-7 month long like marathon build going into those 2 races I did.
Yeah.
And so honestly, there might be a few races out there that I want to do. I mean, the Honolulu Marathon is December, and like an excuse to go to Hawaii.
Yeah, I have a couple friends doing that one.
Yeah. And so I might do that, but honestly, kind of no big races on the horizon. I think I do some of my best training when I don't have a race on the horizon, because it totally takes the pressure of like, if I have a marathon in 10 weeks, 5 weeks from now, I should be hitting a 20-mile long run. If I'm not doing that, I'm behind.
Yeah.
Whereas like when you don't have a race on the calendar, you can kind of just train like and listen to your body and focus on like getting fitter and faster and like doing it without like the time pressure of X amount of weeks from now, I'm going to be on this start line. So I have to do this workout to get prepared.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of looking forward to just training to train.
Yeah. Do you strength train?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, I figured, but like, I know there's some people that just run. You're like, oh, that's funny.
No, I think the people that just run, like, one, I gotta fight off the runner or something. But
Yeah.
I find like those are the runners that tend to get injured more. I
Mm.
think like the strength training and just like using your muscles in a different way is just good for your body. Like helps you be a stronger, more durable athlete.
Yeah. So what does your week look like with that? Like, do you have a specific gym you go to?
Yeah, I go up to Collective.
Oh, okay. That's like right over there.
Yeah. And so I live up in North Austin, so it's like I have close gyms to me, and I really like it. But right now I'm running like 6 days a week, 5 or 6 days a week, depending on the week. So I really have kind of like 3 sessions a week where I go in and lift. Well, I would say probably just really 2, where I go in and I do the typical like lifter thing where I'm like bench pressing and like deadlifting. And I think it's important to build that kind of like global strength. Then I have kind of like a conditioning day. My buddy Kyle Sluga puts on a Tuesday night high rocks class at Collective. That's a great time. And then I usually do 2 more sessions where I'm not working out. But and I would also say like these workouts aren't long. I'm not spending hours in the gym. Like most of my workouts, like of time actually spent working out. Like if I'm not just yapping to people, it's probably like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And so it's not like an epically long 2-hour lifting session. Like, no, I'm kind of like in there, hit it. And
Yeah.
but then I have sort of like 2 runner specific workout days where I'm really focusing on like doing exercises that will make me a stronger, quicker, more durable runner.
Mm-hmm.
So doing a lot of like plyometric exercises, like a lot of jumping,
Yeah.
things that make you like a real athlete. I think the term gets thrown around a lot, like hybrid athlete these days.
It does.
And I don't think, frankly, there's anything about lifting or endurance running alone that makes you athletic.
Yeah.
You know, like if you were to put one of these like hybrid athletes on like a soccer field, some like 110-pound like high school soccer player would run circles around these hybrid athletes.
Yeah.
So I think like doing those sessions where you're doing like plyometrics, jumping, quick accelerations, like changing direction, like to me, that's the stuff that makes someone athletic,
Mhm.
not like how much can I bench.
Yeah. If you could give advice to anyone that's just new to the scene of the running scene, because I feel, or everything, you do it all. So if you could give anyone advice that's just like new to working out in general, like what would you do if you could go back to your like old self? All the things
Hire
that
me
you
as
do.
a coach. No, beyond that, I would say like the power of consistency is what's going to give you results. Like I'll use a marathon build as like an example. It's not the 122-mile longest run of the build that is really going to prepare you. Like if you were to do the whole marathon build and just skip that workout,
Mhm.
you would have a great marathon. But if you skipped a third of all the workouts, like the boring, like easy miles that you're running way slower than marathon pace, basically trotting, like the consistency, the consistent small additions to your piggy bank of fitness that like is going to make the difference. And it's the same in lifting. Like it's showing up to the gym on the days where you don't want to do it and like getting in that workout that like you had planned a bigger workout, but you only did like half of it instead. Well, half is way better than zero.
Yeah.
And so doing the like consistent small things, that's really where like the money is made. And I think the saying is like, I'd rather be consistently good than occasionally great.
Yeah.
So I very much live by that. And like, I tell all my athletes, like, if there's a workout on the calendar and it's like a 14-mile run,
Mm-hmm.
like, don't be in the mindset of like, oh, I'm not going to do that 14-mile run. I'm just going to skip it.
Mm-hmm.
Like doing a 7-mile run, like, well, I know it's not 14, but like, that's still very productive for you, you know? And like, I think, especially with like athletes that I give a plan, like they see the plan on paper and it, like a lot of times in their head, it's either like execute or done.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, why not strive to get as close as we can? Like everyone has days where like the workout on the calendar like just doesn't happen or the paces don't happen.
Mm-hmm.
But like to still get out there and do whatever you can that day, if you just do that every day, boom, we'll be good.
Yeah. That's actually helpful for me. I have that problem with that. Like, just like, I'm like, I couldn't do it today. Just like, I'll do it tomorrow instead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you would like to say to the audience or just about anything?
If you're a runner in Austin and you want to get better, you want to get faster, I should see you Tuesday mornings at Yellow Jacket Stadium, 6:30 at Good Pain.
All right. We'll see you at Yellow Jacket Stadium on Tuesday. Let me close it out. All right. Well, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you on another episode of The Premium Perspective. And make sure that you hire Griffin Wooden as your coach.
Amen.
All right. Bye, guys.